these features are now going to be brought to Apple users for the first time. They are transformative, and Apple is going to require you to upgrade your hardware to get access to these. And so about 85% of the Apple hardware is going to be needed to upgrade. And at the most basic level is that these features are going to be something that I believe consumers are going to want.
When will the sell side modify their what ifs, their margins ratios, their free cash flow guesstimates? Does that happen now? Does it happen 90 days from now? Does it happen in 2026?
I think what you'll see is maybe 20% of the analysts are generally on board with this is going to have a nice lift over the next 1 to 3 years. And so you'll see some of those changes probably before they report the June quarter. So call it in the next month or so. And then you'll see the next phase, call it 30%, will come in after the next iPhones come out, which will be middle of September. And then the laggards, the 50%, will probably come in early, probably when they report their December quarter of 2024. So that will be early in 25. But I think that the trajectory of this is you want to own stocks ahead of positive earnings revisions.
Right.
And I think over the next 6 to 9 months, we're going to see those. And just to kind of put a final thought on what the magnitude of those revisions are, is that we're talking about growth going from, call it 2% in calendar 24 to around 10% in calendar 25 and maybe 12% in calendar 26. Wow. So it's a nice move higher. It's a far cry from what we've seen from some of these other AI-powered companies in terms of their growth rates, but it is for Apple up 12%, up 10% is much better than the down 2 that they have reported on average per quarter for the last year and a half.
Hey, Gene, I'm out here sporting an iPhone 11. Is this change to AI? Is that gonna prompt me to get back into the Apple Store and upgrade in September?
I think it will, and I think that this is the fundamental piece that a lot of those who just analyze this so closely are focused on the trees versus the forest, is that I think that people like you are going to see these features and want to get upgraded. And maybe in your case, you're probably due for an upgrade either way. But I think in the case of many people who are 3 years out, I think that they're going to see these features and undoubtedly want them. This is the biggest change in Apple since the iPhone came out. And that's a bold statement, but just to put some perspective on it, over the past, call it 15 or so years since the iPhone came out, what we have seen is that, we've had things like Vision Pro, we've had services like Apple TV Plus, we've had the iPad, we've had the App Store. Those have been kind of the cornerstone announcements, but what this fundamentally does is change the way that we interact with these devices. It's going to add more value. And Paul, I think that is going to be a major catalyst for upgrades here.